The U.S. striking dozens of Iranian military targets last night, bombing a key hub on the Strait of Hormuz. The major blow to the IRGC.
Plus, we're tracking major weather alerts across the country. Here's a live look at New York City. Just look at this morning. A wildfire smoke from Canada brings hazy skies to millions across the United States. Meanwhile, catastrophic flooding returns to Texas just 1 year after deadly flooding that hit Camp Mystic.
Plus, the CDC and FDA believe they've traced the source of that parasite outbreak. We're going to tell you the details. And can we eat salad again? Wouldn't that be nice?
I never stopped.
No.
No?
Lettuce is so dirty. It is so dirty.
Didn't I get accused of blowing the teasers?
Bingo.
And guess what just happened? I sucked you in. It was a trick. Fox and Friends starts right now. Remember, morning's better with friends. Get dressed.
So, sixth straight day, the United States hammering targets on Iran, and we're entering a new phase of the war as CENTCOM takes aim at bridges and resupply routes in or around key port cities along the Strait of Hormuz.
It is part of President Trump's strategy to pressure Iran to stop attacking ships and to engage in further peace talks.
So, Madeline Rivera is live in Washington with the details. Maddie.
Hi, good morning, guys. That's right. This is significant escalation. The targeting of roads, bridges, and bases around the port city of Bandar Abbas is significant because it cuts off Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps supply routes, essentially isolating them. Bandar Abbas is key to controlling the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. has maintained their military action is aimed at degrading Iran's ability to attack commercial ships traveling through that critical waterway.
Well, look at how bad they are behaving. It just proves the president's initial point for launching Operation Epic Fury in the first place. Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. After Operation Epic Fury, the conclusion of it, we did move forward into a diplomatic phase, if you will. But unfortunately, Iran has since violated that. They have expressed they still want to make a deal to the president. We're talking to them. But again, the president is not going to allow them to fire on ships in the Strait without paying a consequence for that.
So in response to these U.S. strikes, Iran launched missiles and drones targeting Qatar, Bahrain, and Jordan. It also damaged a power and water desalination plant in Kuwait, something crucial in the small desert nation. Iran state media is also reporting that Iran's energy minister is urging people to reduce their electricity consumption after attacks damaged energy infrastructure in and around Bandar Abbas. And remember, the president had warned earlier this week of strikes on Iran's bridges and power plants if it did not return to the negotiating table. Orange, Ainsley, and Brian.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much, Maddie. So there's a method, and the method is we're going to physically open up the strait. And to do that, we're going to have to blow up the things that have been keeping the strait closed and threatening merchant ships. And we're shutting down roads, blowing up bridges as it relates to this. So we cannot trust you to negotiate for 60 days. So we tried that for 2 weeks. That's not going to work. So now we're physically going to do this. You have to be a little bit more patient. And if you want to know how effective we've been so far, think about the fact that they are now threatening us, saying we're going to activate the Houthi rebels to shut down the Red Sea, which is 7% of oil transfer, energy transfer, if you continue to do this. And so far, they also said if you blow up power plants, we'll do that too. And there is some activity in Yemen where the Houthis are located that shows they're prepared to do something. But keep in mind, one of the first things President Trump did, remember the whole signal chat thing? That was in response to an offensive against the Houthis to stop them from shutting down the Red Sea. Do they remember that?
So we were told, Ainsley, initially that, you know, when it came to the Houthis, that Israel was the problem, that Israel was going on their territory. I hope they get involved so we can eliminate them as well. All of these bad actors are all connected with Iran. There was some activity also in Kuwait as well. They're not just trying to hit our bases, but they're hitting our Gulf allies. I hope to see them get involved at some point.
They hit Qatar yesterday.
Exactly. Here's Caroline Levitt.
The reason, and this is important for the American people to understand, the reason for the recent strikes over the course of the last several days is because Iran violated the Memorandum of Understanding that we struck with them. Specifically, in the Memorandum of Understanding that they signed, they were not to fire on commercial vessels moving through the Strait of Hormuz. And unfortunately, they have made the tragic decision for them to do that. And President Trump is not going to sit by and allow these active acts of terrorism to take place place in the Strait without ensuring Iran pays consequences for that, and that's what we are witnessing right now.
So she's saying this is the punishment for violating the MOU. You want to tell us about this map, Brian?
So here's the Bandar Abbas area where they're launching a lot of their drones and rockets from. So we said, okay, we know exactly where it's coming from. We've been watching. We got eyes in the sky. So we've been taking that out, blowing that up. And they have not shot at one ship in 3 days now. Now, the question is, can we get the merchant ships to go through knowing they got insurance? Right. Because right now there's been 13 on Wednesday. I didn't see the numbers on Thursday, but we got to get that number up to 50. 25 tankers at least, and then various other fertilizer and natural gas, whatever it takes. But we got to get that number up at least 25 to 50 for the price of oil to go back down, because now it's about, they say gas right now is $3.85. And a barrel of oil is $84. We need it around 70.
Well, we have hit 2,000 targets in the last few days along Iran's state-run electrical grid. That's putting a strain on the country's power grid. In addition, we have also expanded our airstrike campaign by increasingly hitting these bridges. And what do you guys make of the Houthis possibly being involved in this? Because Iran has asked the Houthi terrorists, as we've been talking about this morning, to prepare to close a critical part of the Red Sea, this gateway called Bab el-Mandab Strait, if the U.S. attacks Iran's power infrastructure.
It's kind of like what I was alluding to earlier, and Brian, I don't know if you agree. I wish they would get involved so we can stop pretending that they haven't been involved to begin with. It's all Iran. Now, of course, they focus most of their firepower on Israel, but this is the same organization. Whether you're talking about Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, all of it leads to Iran. So let's put them all on the level playing field. Let's use our military, and let's get Israel back in the game. Now, they've been delayed because they understand with the president, they understand the political climate, and they've listened to the president and been hands off. But, we talk about munitions and what we need. Let them get back in the game. They want to be in this fight as well. It's their health and safety that's on the line as well.
They said if you rocket us, we're going back in. We're not going to ask the U.S. for permission. I agree. The Houthi rebels, if you rocket Israel, they're going to bomb you out. We don't need a green light from us. They're not going to get it. They don't look for it. They wouldn't listen to it. But I'm not for the Houthis getting involved, because temporarily they're going to shut down additional oil. It could go up to $150 a barrel. That would hurt everyone in the short term. Houthis are tough to hit. They're easy to hit, but tough to wipe out. Saudi Arabia tried it for 2 years, and they hit Saudi Arabia yesterday. So there's a risk of them expanding it. My sense is the Houthis' utter existence was jeopardized a year ago. Do they want to do that? Because they don't have the same relationship as Hezbollah and Hamas. It's a little bit more transactional with Iran and the Houthi rebels. So my feeling is, if they play that card, the Houthis, they would temporarily, at least for 2 weeks until we reopen it, cause more economic pain here at home.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.